What's good, YouTube? What's up, PlayStation Nation? It's your boy Jay Barry from whatsupplaystation.com, here to give you guys greatness once again, which is the PlayStation Nation, which is the PlayStation 4. And guys, I am here to give you my review of the world of Final Fantasy. Yes, the world of Final Fantasy. This game to me has been my favorite game for 2016. This is basically my game of the year, and I'm going to be, within this video, I'm going to be telling you the reasons why I love this game so much. So I'm going to be giving you all of the pros for this game. I'm going to be giving you the con for this game, or cons for this game as well, because it's not a perfect game, but overall I had so much fun with this game. Throughout this game I was smiling, from the beginning to the end. This game has played with my emotions. This game has made me happy, it made me sad, it made me excited. This game is overall greatness, in my opinion. As somebody that loves the Final Fantasy franchise, I think they implemented the characters, the music, the towns, the design of Final Fantasy within this game perfectly. And I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more in detail. But before I get to that, I'm going to do something a little different here, where I give you my final score, because I usually wait to the end of the video to do that, but I'm going to do that right now, and then I'm going to tell you the reasons why I rated this game the way I did. So the final score that I give this game is a 9.5 out of 10. And yes, I am not joking, I'm not kidding. This game to me is a 9.5 out of 10. And here is my review explaining the reasons why I'm giving it such a high score. So basically, I'm going to be talking about the gameplay, I'm going to be talking about the fun factor, I'm going to be talking about the story, I'm going to be talking about the characters, and I'm going to have my overall verdict. So here's the gameplay and why I like the gameplay. This game takes on the traditional battle system of most RPGs or JRPGs with the turn-based mechanic. And I think I know a lot of people that love turn-based games, they would love this game because they added some new elements within the turn-based mechanic, like this stacking ability. So throughout the game, you're going throughout this game collecting mirages. Mirages are the monsters that you see here that I'm stacked upon, or they're stacked on me. And throughout the game, you're going to be collecting them, you're going to be leveling these guys up. So you're going to have this mirage board for every mirage you captured. So each fight that you do, you gain experience, and you can use that experience points that you earned and fulfill your mirage board, as far as increasing the HP, increasing MP. They have these unique abilities as well, like say you're using like the Iron Giant. The Iron Giant has an ability where he can negate attack and have a counter ability if somebody misses an attack with him. So you can, each mirage board has these unique attributes towards them. Like the Holy Dragon you see here, he has things like light attacks, so he can display light moves to hurt your enemies, like Holy Ray and stuff like that, or banish light attacks. And it's just a real cool mechanic. It reminds me something of like Final Fantasy X, where each character, they did start off with their own little board, and then you can, or spear grid, and then you can advance that spear grid into somebody else's spear grid to evolve the character more. So in this game with the mirages, you have your set mirage board for a certain mirage, but you can also transfigure it to put it in layman's term is like evolution. Like in Pokemon, you evolve your Pokemon. That's pretty much what transfigure is. So you can transfigure your mirage, spending a AP point or mirage point, whatever you want to call it, and evolve your mirage into like a different mirage, and then that mirage has a mirage board, but it's also continuing from the other mirage that you had. So your abilities to stack, unstack. And some of these mirages, they have like 4 different mirage boards, which is really cool. I like it a lot, and it really builds it gives you a new dynamic as far as like which mirage I want to carry with me. I can go, if I want to go and have like an ice mirage as my large, I can transfigure it into a large mirage, or I can keep it as a medium, or I can keep it as a small. It plays with the uniqueness of this game as far as just having a strategy and how you want to battle your enemies, so I like it a lot when it comes to the gameplay of the stacking ability, how you can just play with it and tweak it to how you want to fit and how you want to have your attributes or your abilities, so you can fight different bosses and stuff like that. Because it's really important to do that, because you have these things called intervention missions, and you have these things in the game called the Coliseum. And the Coliseum, you definitely know who your enemies are before you fight them. The intervention, they give you a little brief description of who you're going to fight. So sometimes you want to prepare yourself and switch up your mirages and your stacking stacks basically, to go and fight those enemies, because certain stacks is going to have certain attributes like ice or fire, and it's not going to be effective for the mirage or the boss that you're going to be fighting. So you got to switch it up. So it's really cool. So I like it a lot. It definitely brings a new element towards the battle mechanics of turn-based games. Also, for those seasoned RPG guys, one of the flaws of World of Final Fantasy is that it can be a little hard. It can be a little easy. So if you want to make it a little more difficult for yourself, you can enable active time battle. So active time battle, you can see this the bar right here to your left. You see your personal bar on the right side, where it letting you know when you can attack, and you see on the left side it shows when your enemy can attack. And when it goes all the way to the top, that's when you have the ability to select what attack you want to do. So active time system, whenever you're in your menu, or when you're trying to select your attacks, the enemy's bar is still going up, so they can attack you regardless if you're in your menu. So it creates a little bit more difficulty towards the battle system. So for those guys that want a little bit more challenge, turn on active time battle, and you're going to get your challenge there within this game. So yeah, still in the gameplay mechanics, like I said, I mentioned the interventions. You basically are helping out these champions. Champions are characters that you're going to meet throughout the game, in the story, and those are like the previous Final Fantasy characters. Like here is Cloud. Cloud is a champion, and he has certain intervention missions that you would do to help him battle certain mirages and all that stuff, and which is really cool. Now, one thing I did dislike about this game is that I did want a little bit more out of the intervention missions, as far as making it your ability to earn those champions, not just progressing through the story and then you go to the girl team room and then you can buy the champion from there. I think they should have implemented the interventions where you got to complete certain missions for these champions, then you can purchase the champions with your armor points from there. So that's a little flaw I have within the intervention missions. But intervention missions are cool because within the dialogue of the intervention missions, depending on the character, they have these little tropes from the game that character was in. So Final Fantasy with the Warrior of Light, he mentioned certain things like, somehow I felt like I saved her once again, like Princess Sarah within Final Fantasy 1. And it's just really cool dynamic for those people that know the story of those Final Fantasy games. You're gonna definitely catch on like, oh, that's really cool that they mentioned that. Like Cloud, he has his intervention mission, and they're mentioning he's searching for this man with white hair, and it's just really cool, like, oh, Sephiroth, things like that. So I really like that dynamic with this game. Also there's the Coliseum. Coliseums are just you going to like this different part of the game, and you can just battle mirages that you probably met throughout the story. And it gets challenging with the Coliseum, because as you level up, certain mirages unlock, and they might be the same level as you or even higher within the game. So there's mirages that I haven't fought yet that is like level 80, level 99, and it's crazy good and challenging. But you do have the ability to capture these mirages, because some of them you just can't capture within the story, and you do have the ability to earn like certain items like elixirs, or certain like magical items, like casting water and all that stuff from fighting these mirages in the Coliseum. So yeah, overall the gameplay, I love the gameplay. It is very fun. It is very addicting to play, because like I said, you can always mix and match all your stacks to get other abilities and other unique things to do within the game. And sometimes when you just have like an OP stack, you're just a man in this game. Like you can just run through enemies sometimes, and it's just really fun to do that. But like I said, if you want a challenge or more of a challenge within the game, because this game is not hard at all. Just until when you get to the end, it becomes a little bit harder, and the Coliseum battles, those can be hard, and the final intervention battle fighting Omega God, that can be hard as well. But overall, the difficulty in this game is not that hard. But if you do activate the time battle system, you can create a little bit more difficulty for yourself. But yo, let's get into the story real quick, because as you can see in the gameplay, you saw a little spoiler. This is the first ending that you saw, but I want to talk about Rain and I want to talk about Lan. These guys are my favorite my favorite characters this generation, and that is not even that's not an exaggeration. I love these characters. I love the dynamic between these characters. You have Rain, where Rain is more of like, she's the opposite of Lan, where Rain, she's more cautious with everything. She likes to analyze everything. She's not like head first, where she's not just diving into certain situation. She definitely like to show her smarts, and that she's much smarter than her brother, and she's very strong-willed when it comes to certain things. She's always a very like bold and courageous type character at times. Even though she's level-headed, she's very bold and very proud of herself. Here, as you can see, when she did lose her brother, spoiler she did lose her brother, she was broken. This part of the story, this part devastated me. I was like, no, Rain, like, yo, because throughout the whole game, Rain is just such a upbeat, proud character. That's one thing I love about it. That is a very up-tempo, upbeat type of game, and I really like that between the characters, the main characters, even the sub characters like the champions, the enemies sometimes are upbeat with a lot of tempo, even though they're evil in their ways. But it's really fun dynamic just playing throughout the game. It's a fun story just to sit down and watch and analyze, overall. And I love that about that game. And even with Lan, like I said, he's the more dim-witted character. Very opposite from his sister, where he's a head first. He would dive into any situation not thinking. And within the end of the game, you can see that he matured from learning what he has done, him and his sister has done. Because basically the whole gist of this story of this game is that Lan and Rain, they did something very stupid, like kids would do, and they end up messing everything up in this world of Grimoire, and having this world pretty much almost destroyed by King Brandelis, the dude that we fought. He bringing all the Cognates to destroy the world of Grimoire and all that stuff, believing in this false prophecy that was created by King Brandelis and his crew. And Lan and Rain, falling within that, bringing more devastation to the world of Grimoire. And when they found that out and figured everything out, you can definitely saw the maturity within Lan, and that he took all of the stuff that he did and his sister did, and took it upon himself to sacrifice himself to save this world from devastation, as you can see in the end right there. So it's a really cool dynamic within this game, and yeah, that is basically the first type of ending. But it doesn't stop there. The story does continue, and they do get another chance for some strange reason. I'm not going to really explain that. They get another chance to right their wrongs and to fix you know, Rain losing her brother at the end of the day. So that's a really cool dynamic that I loved in the story, because I was so devastated with the ending, the first ending in this game, and I was like, no, because you can definitely see the dynamic with these guys in this first ending, that, you know, these twins are like inseparable, you know what I mean? And just having them split up, it really devastates you. Just learning about these characters, just, you know, going throughout these characters' journey, because they're so good with each other. They're so good as a dynamic duo, and it was really tough to see that ending for me personally, with Rain losing her brother. But you do get to the chance to, you know, fix everything, and that's one thing I did love. And, you know, you get to see the true ending of the game. But yeah, I love these two characters. Like, I can't say that enough. I love the implementation of the Final Fantasy characters. You know, they definitely hit that nail on the nose right there. And it's just a great game. Like, if you love Final Fantasy and you know the characters within this game, as far as, you know, the champions, you know, the older characters, the way how they implemented those characters is just really cool to see, you know, because you can summon them and see their abilities, you know, see their kind of like their limit breaks within the game, and even their music. The matter of fact, the music in this game, it has like all the classic, like, you know, little music tones for Final Fantasy. One of my favorite Final Fantasy musics was, you know, Eternal Wind. And when you get to Sororia and you hear that, I'm like, what? Hold on. That Eternal Wind, you know, the Final Fantasy nerd in you that comes out in this game, like, what? Hold on, Cornelia, you know, it's just really cool, man. Like, and I love that aspect within this game. That's why I love it so much. So yeah, the story in this game, great story. I wish they did a little bit more of the main, you know, antagonist, you know, Brandelis. I wish they did a little bit more development with that character, and I wish they implemented a little bit more of certain other characters. I don't want to really spoil, because that's like the main thing about this game, because this game is about basically Lon and Rain righting their wrongs and searching for their parents, and just getting to their parents' side is just, it was amazing. I'll say that, it was amazing just seeing what the hell happened when they was, you know, and the reason why certain things has happened this way. It's crazy. I'm trying my best not to spoil it for anybody that's really interested, or anybody that's really playing this game. All right. But yeah, character, story, you know, the dynamic, the development of, you know, not just Lon and Rain, that's even with the champions, you know, by doing the intervention mission, you see the growth of those characters as well, because, you know, certain characters have certain fears, you know, like, you know, in the Final Fantasy game, you know, those characters had those fears that's brought into here, and they tackled that, and they built upon that within the intervention missions in this game. But yeah, overall, I want to say this about this game, and this is the cons I'm going to say first. The cons about this game, that it can be a very easy game. If you're looking for like a real challenge, a real difficulty within this game, it is not generally there until like you turn on the active time battle. When you turn on the active time battle, that's when the difficulty get there. But the main default for this game is having the wait mode. This game, you can just run through it. You can run through this game and have a good time with it until you get to certain intervention missions and the Coliseum. There's like the Coliseum, there's certain things that you just can't do, because if you're at a certain level and you're not level 70, you can't fight that enemy. He can just one swipe you, you're dead. But yeah, there's the difficulty in this game is very easy. One thing I also disliked a little bit was how the game is it can be a little linear. You know, just having the name Final Fantasy within the game, you can't expect, or you should expect, some open worldness, but it's not there within this game. It doesn't have like this open world type of exploration, you know, looking around the world type thing. There's certain exploration points, but it's not really that in depth for you to like, hey, like other Final Fantasy games. So this game is very linear. It can be easy. I wish there was a little bit more development with the enemies, like, you know, the main antagonists. And that's basically the flaws that I have within this game. But overall, if you are a Final Fantasy fan, you know, that you love Final Fantasy, you love the characters, you love the music, you know, you love everything about Final Fantasy, this game is a game for you, because it has majority of all of the tropes within Final Fantasy in this game. You know what I mean? Look at it, Magitech Laser with Tyra. You know, it's just really cool, man. It's just really cool, really up tempo, really, you know, just it's a Final Fantasy game for Final Fantasy fans, and that's the way to sum this game up. Like, like I said, if you love Final Fantasy, you will love this game. I find it very hard for people to dislike this game outside of, you know, certain things. Like I say, if you're looking for the difficulty in this game, you're not really going to get it. And if you want a little bit more development within the enemies, I don't think it's really there. They're more concentrating on Rain and Lan, which is understandable, because those are new characters, and, you know, you got to get that dynamic right between them, in my opinion. And I think they did. But overall, I love this game. I think this game was a very fun game with a battle system, you know, turn-based, adding the stacking ability. Then you can evolve your mirages. It's just a fun game to play, and I had a great time. I've put in over 90 something hours within this game, and I'm still not done, because there's so much content to do, especially with the Coliseum. And after you beat the game, you get these EX dungeons that you'll get to play, and they're so hard. That part right there is very difficult. The EX dungeons. So if you thought this game was easy, and when you completed this game, the EX dungeons is tough, very, very tough. But yeah, there's tons of content for people to love in this game, and I really think people should give this game a chance. If you like RPGs, if you love Final Fantasy, go ahead and get this game. This game get the Bari stamp of approval. So my final score, once again, is a 9.5 out of 10. I think the positive aspects of this game oversees anything negative within this game, and I really think people will love it. But I want people to tune in for the end scene of this game, because I think it's funny and it's hilarious. And if you're looking for a nice little up-tempo song to dance to, go ahead and get your boogie on to the world of Final Fantasy. But yeah, man, it's your boy Jay Bari, and I'm gone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Deuces, go get this game.
しているようで全くしてないな。
いいタイミングだったな。
よかったって。
お前らいい加減本題に入れ。
お疲れ様。パンパカパーン。ありがとう。愛しさ